So I have to say, we have had such excellent presentations during the conference, and I can imagine how all of us would have loved to talk more about this. These short hours are really not enough. We need a face-to-face meeting, 2 days somewhere, and talk about this and develop lots more. Anyway,
hopefully one day.
Sorry?
Hopefully one day.
Anyway, more time for us to meet and talk. So I'm quickly wrapping up. I know we are all kind of tired sitting here in front of the monitor, and therefore I'm just kind of running through this presentation to answer the question, where will we be in the future in BSR with PPCSs? So I'd like to repeat a bit of what Sirpa said in the beginning. So basically the food system is very much defined and upheld by the state. It's immense legislation regarding all these basic aspects. Just to continue a bit or repeat what Sirpa already said. So the state is the basic food system definer and upholder. So they take care of this. And we also have the organic quality of food well defined. So this is the law. However, nutrition recommendations are just recommendations. So they are more or less taken as a law very often, but still they are at the moment recommendations. And we also have added not only this balanced or mixed diet, but also vegetarian and vegan diets. Intriguingly, we have the famous Mediterranean diet, which does not concern us so much, but we do have the Nordic diet. And people, I think it was Sara in Södertälje, they actually had nice examples of this. But however, what's our task? I think PPCS providers are assigned to develop sustainable meals. So we are the showcase for the world in a way. What is sustainable nutrition? That's a heavy responsibility. We are the ones to solve the equation for healthy and sustainable meals. So we are the ones to balance between nutrition, cost, and environment. So there were many people really emphasizing this cost, like Pavel in St. Petersburg. It was also in Copenhagen. It was Bettina who said that no additional costs. And in Finland, my caterers tell me, or procurers and caterers tell me, oh, Minna, this public procurement and catering services is a business of 1 cent. So it's so tight, they want to tell me. So, however, we have this tall order to develop sustainable nutrition. And here we see EU policies and public procurement and catering services trends, and we see multiple matches to be realized. This really gives us a lot of work, and according to our presentations, a lot has been done. Very good work. However, the quantification is not that easy, as knowing something about LCA calculations and food networks, it's really not such an easy task, but will be probably done better way in the future. And to look at the maps, how does Europe look like? So this is risks of climate change we have, and we see that Northern Europe, which we represent, there are no more -20, -30 winters, but it's more wet, it's more dark. The plant growth will be accelerated probably. There's enough water, so water deficiency is not our problem. Rather, it might be the future that this area will produce and export food for those areas which are too dry to produce some particular items such as meat and dairy, who knows? Taking place already. So, and then if we look at the customers, because our customers represent the potential for public meal providers to develop this sustainable meal in a way that these people are the ones who learn to eat sustainably. It's a huge and interesting task. And here we see the total population of our StratKit countries is nearly 60 million, of which young people comprise 10 million. So 10 million young people may learn to eat more sustainably if we are able to provide them more sustainable meals. So, and then we had very good presentations about public procurement, which is sort of a back office task. We have these fine GPP recommendations, by the way, recommendations as well so far, which give us core and comprehensive criteria. So this is kind of leveled out already for us. But this is very technical, this Brussels publication. So it's about specifications for tendering, awarding and executing stages. It's about labels, certificates and self-declarations in the market. So the way we are looking here in StratKit, the phenomenon of public procurement and catering services has been pinned down by this framework model. We just talk about it as a tree model, and it's designer's work. So we had the idea of the model, but a designer made it. So for instance, I think it was Södertälje and Sarah who mentioned that when there's local food policy or strategy, which is politically decided, here are the people who get the idea of having, let's say, more organic food, more plant-based food, local and regional food, whatever. So this idea from the local food policy goes down to first procurement criteria. They need to find out those. Then they need to insert these ingredients into their meals and menus, and there we get the recipes. Well, then these need to be manufactured. Well, then we have the service model, and often this self-service creates less waste than full service. Then maybe we need to communicate about our more sustainable meals so that customers understand it. And then again, the cost aspect is always there in public services. And I also was very happy to learn about Sarah's presentation where she mentioned the occupational well-being of these people who are employees in public procurement and catering services. That's an important issue. So this is kind of a picture of domains comprising the whole system of public procurement and catering services. So when we make a change in one place, we get changes in other places. So here we see actually the current status of StratKit countries where we have changes. So you see the orange color explodes on the screen. So in actually all of our domains, kind of activity centers in public procurement and catering services, in all of those domains, there are specific changes underway. So part of these are already done and realized. Part of these are just like in planning. Anyway, we see a lot of changes, and this gives a very bright and strong picture of Baltic Sea region countries' future about public meals, public and sustainable meals. Sustainable. Well, there are some complications. This isn't let's say, quite simple, because the sustainability issues and orientations may differ. You have different priorities and plans in different countries. So some stress very strongly environmental sustainability, let's say climate sustainability. Some emphasize agrobiodiversity. Some are interested about economic sustainability for those who are producing food. And then we have this big holistic sustainability vis-a-vis sustainable development goals. Some talk about food security, a real issue during this corona epidemic. So in some countries in this world, they really have had food security issues. So we would need to, let's say, govern the market in a way that we do not endanger our food security. So, and for instance, in the German presentation, Vår kommt ein Essen her, they had really an interest in regional food, as well as in Södertälje as well. So people clearly are kind of proud and fond of their regional food and their cuisines. However, we also have novel, very industrial food. So we do really have issues. So in the end, it is these people who are doing the job. So they are the ones to make the changes together. And up here, we do have the politicians. By the way, this local food policy, if you see the text, it is a Finnish municipal council initiative to halve meat and dairy in 5 years. So this is how politicians really may tackle the system. Then there are those who make the decisions. This might also be a public catering organization's own decision, or it might be a policy or strategy of a commercial catering company. But anyway, there are these ideas, these big managerial ideas, which then flow down and all the system runs with them. So this was my kind of respect for these people who are making the change. So thank you for your attention and discussions which we really look forward to take place face to face, maybe in Aarhus next spring and at the latest in Brussels in autumn 21. Thank you very much.